high school. What's the high school? What's your high school's
Smoky
name?
Hill.
Smoky Hill?
Yes.
What kind of high school name is Smoky Hill?
It was on Smoky Hill Road.
Why was the road named Smoky Hill? Is it a Smoky Hill? Is it a hazy hill?
No, it's
Anyway,
a hill.
Smoky Hill High School. I don't know how many students you have, but probably a lot. This is for you.
I'm Anna Jordan, and I went to Emmanuel Christian High School in Lethbridge, Alberta. That's in Canada.
My name is Jake Brouwer. I'm from Pella, Iowa. I attended Pella Christian High School, and my class consisted of, I think, around 70 people, anywhere from 67 to 70. So we didn't come here and be like, you know, I'm going to be a Christian because I feel like me living as a good law-abiding citizen with a white picket fence is going to really change somebody else and going to just better this government and this community. That's not the end goal. To be Christ-like,
Yeah.
and to hope that as people see us live our lives, that we can then reach them. And that's not to be like, oh, we're better than you, you should change your lifestyle. It's like, we have something fantastic. Like, you need to get on this. Like, this is great because I am a fallen person. I am a very sinful person. You're a sinful person.
Yeah.
And guess what? We have something we can do about that. And it's like, that's great because I am going to screw up every day.
You don't think you private Christian school people are just perfect little angels.
Oh, we're not. Trust me. No, you stop thinking that right now. No.
Like, am I saved? I don't know. Where I was sitting in one of my Bible classes, and my teacher got up and he says, there's not really a way you can explain it, but he says once you're kind of a born again, and that's the word that's used,
Yeah.
born again, once you're truly a Christian, you can't really explain it, but you know. Like, you know you're saved. When I was a sophomore, when I was 16 years old, and my teacher said, you know, you just kind of know the feeling. I go, holy crap. What feeling? What are you talking about? And I was absolutely terrified. I was like, you know, as far as I know, I'm just as deserving as fire and brimstone, the whole 9 yards.
Even if you're a Christian, I think you need to know sin reaches every part. Like, the church isn't perfect. We know that. So private Christian school isn't going to be perfect.
And so I feel like then some of the importance of your faith is kind of diminished because you're like, you just assume that everybody is Christian and doesn't have problems, and you don't ask people how their faith is because you just assume that it's fine after you went to chapel.
Yeah.
You don't really talk outside of the classroom about how your faith life is doing. You also, I think in some cases, you begin to, after you have this kind of group of people that are Christians, there is a certain mentality that some people, where it's like, well, if they're not belonging to the school, if they're not Christian, then they're just a little bit less. It's not like, oh, we're gonna look over our glasses at them and be like, what are you, who do you think you are, going to a public school? But I saw that when we had like youth group on Wednesday nights at our church, we had kind of a split between, you have the public school kids and the private school kids.
Yeah.
And I think that main split, the main reason was because, what did we talk about? Our teachers, our homework, our school activities. And so like to kind of mesh those two, it's like, well, I mean, we don't really have a similar school or a similar teachers to, like, we don't have that kind of meshing point, and we never really tried to find other subjects than school
Okay.
to talk to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. Are we perfect? No. And there were a lot of kids who, like I said, who would claim to be Christian nominally, who were very far from it, who were worse than a lot of public school atheists, if you want to,
Yeah.
or just atheists in general. There are atheists who can live really moral lives and who are solid people that I would be friends with.
I was in 8th grade and I found out someone in the high school was pregnant.
Any vast arrangement of people you have in a high school, there are kids who, you know, drank on the weekends, decided to, you know, do whatever.
Yes, we know what alcohol is, we know what drunkenness is, we know what premarital sex is, we know all this stuff is.
Stuff that you would later hear about and cringe and just go, why? Why would you, steal hundreds of dollars worth of stuff from Walmart? Why do you think that is okay?
It's just that I think there's an illusion that we don't experience it, but we do.
Yeah.
Just because we're human and we live in North American society.
You have a couple of kids like that and they taint the entire name of Christian. And again, like I said, it's not like we're perfect and like we got it together, but at the same time, that doesn't, because we have something fantastic about forgiveness, that doesn't mean like, well, I'll steal it and then I'll ask forgiveness from a divine being so that I don't really have to apply my, consequences to the United States.
So you're not perfect little angels.
No, like...
Going back to like are we perfect? Far from it. Far from it. We are terrible people.
I know we had some ones of you guys are always perfect.
No, stop that. No.
Stop that right now.
We are not perfect. I know we look like it, but we're not.
We can be terrible people at sometimes. I mean, we're high school kids. I'm a college kid now.
Yeah, but
that makes me so much better.
Still don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Still have no idea. And like you said, still have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't have it put together. Like, I have an idea of what I'd want to do, but...
Oh, that's more than me, so...
Yeah, I have an idea of what I want to do, and there are a lot of kids in the high school that have an idea of what they want to do, but they don't have their life put together. They don't have, I'm going to Harvard, and I'm going to be an engineer, and later, after I've made $100,000, going to become the president of the United States. No.
Not perfect. That we're perfect.
Because you're not.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Especially hanging out with them.
Yeah. She knows.
Yes. You two, wait, right here.
Yeah. And it's not like we hate people who go to public high schools or like we hang our noses. And if we do that, I'm sorry, but that's not everybody. So
you have your extremes. You have people who will claim to be Christians because their parents are Christians, going to a Christian school, and it looks fine and dandy until you get to know them, and you're like, you are really messed up, and you are not outside of God's forgiveness, but at the same time, I'm not gonna hang out with you because you are a really crappy person. I'm just gonna be honest, like that kind of. And so there were people that I really didn't like at our school. It was terrible. At least at Pella Christian, it was pretty bad. I feel like any small school.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at least in a larger school, and don't get me wrong, I loved having a small school because I was able to, at one point, be in student council, be on the football team, be in the play, be in choir, and also play the saxophone. Like, that's awesome. But at the same time, since everybody knows everybody, it's always just like, hey, listen, did you hear that Abby started talking to Carson? And you're just like, I know Abby and Carson. It's like, of course you do. You know all 300 students in the school. Yeah, and so that's where I feel like, if anything, gossip was probably more prevalent because, one, you needed to keep it on the down low if you were going to gossip, like if you were going to talk about that person, right? Yeah. You need to keep it on the down low because chances are they're only 15 feet away. And then second, if you were going to talk about somebody, like, or to somebody else, they knew them because it was a small school.
Yeah.
So like I said, with any small school, I feel like that would be the case. Yeah, it's a challenge going through a Christian school. I'm not gonna say that it was all flowers and roses. So, this isn't a plush, comfy life. Like, we Christians don't have it easy. We're pretty countercultural, if you think about it.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. Like, this life that we live is a pretty big deal. So don't waste it. Don't be high school kids that just go through the system.